Imagine a morning. You wake up, reach for your phone, open your bank app, and you don't close it in horror a second later. You smile. There is no more of that frantic mental math. Okay, if I buy this coffee now, will I have enough for groceries until Friday, or will I have to switch to survival mode? There is a specific number after which this internal dialogue goes quiet. And it's not the $1 million that financial gurus scream about, or even a six-figure income. There is a much more modest milestone that completely rewires your relationship with reality. Once you reach it, the rules of the game change irrevocably. That number is $20,000. My name is Sergey, but my friends call me Sam, and I probably spend way too much time analyzing the psychology of money. I'm incredibly curious why some people stay stuck in one place for years, while others seem to find an invisible lever and start getting rich rapidly. If you want to understand the real mechanics of building capital rather than just hoping for a miracle, welcome to the Sem Invests channel. Be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if this information makes you look at your finances from a different angle. The barrier no one notices. Let's be honest. When we think about wealth, images of either heirs to vast empires or people who save on matches for decades, putting away $1 at a time, come to mind. But the truth is that capital accumulation works differently. There are invisible thresholds. Once you cross them, you discover that the old laws no longer apply. $20,000 is the first serious rift. It is the boundary between those who are destined to wait for a salary notification text all their lives and those who begin to build real freedom. Imagine you are pushing a huge boulder up a mountain. The beginning is a total nightmare. You are tense, sweating, progress is almost invisible, and the thought constantly spins in your head, is it worth it? Maybe I should just quit? But at some point you reach the top. The boulder stops for a second and then starts rolling down the other slope on its own. $20,000 is that very peak. Everything before this was a struggle against gravity. Everything after gravity begins to work for you. Survival psychology versus growth psychology. The most interesting thing here isn't the math. The magic happens in your head. When you have no savings behind you, your brain operates in fight or flight mode. Psychologists call this a state of scarcity. In this mode, every financial decision is saturated with fear. You agree to a terrible job because you can't afford to choose. You tolerate a toxic environment because leaving feels too risky. You say yes to things you hate just because you need the money. Your mental resources are completely consumed by short-term threats. It's like trying to plan a vacation while your house's roof is on fire. No, when you cross the $20,000 mark, space suddenly opens up in your brain. Instead of the question, how do I make it to the end of the month? You start asking, how do I make this money grow? You stop reacting to crises and start creating opportunities. Research shows that having even $2,000 in reserve increases psychological well-being by 21%. And when this buffer grows to $20,000, which for many is 3 to 6 months of a peaceful life, you get a colossal boost of confidence. You are no longer just preserving, you are creating. The math of acceleration, why the second step is easier than the first. Let's use logic. Suppose you set aside $1,000 a month and invested at 8% per annum. To collect the first $20,000, it will take you about 19 months. That's more than a year and a half of discipline, sacrifice, and waiting. It's hard, and this is where most people give up. But here is what will blow your mind. The next $20,000 will require not 19 months, but only about 17. Why? Because now not only your efforts are working for you, but also those first 20,000. They generate income on their own. You do the same work, set aside the same amount, but the time is shortened. When you go for the third portion of $20,000, the time frame shrinks even more. And when your portfolio reaches, say, $400,000, the next $20,000 is created in just 5 months. What you spent almost 2 years of your life on at the beginning now happens automatically while you sleep. The first stage seems impossible, but each subsequent one becomes progressively easier. This is the snowball effect in action. No secrets, just scale. Many think that the rich have access to some secret clubs or secret investment tools that are closed to mere mortals. At a certain level, this is true, but at the $20,000 stage, the secret is much simpler. It's basic arithmetic. If you invested $1,000 and got a 10% profit, you have an extra $100. Nice, but it won't change your life. But if those same 10% come on $20,000, that's already $2,000 in profit. This is money that matters. It's the cost of good training, a powerful new work tool, or a full vacation. At the same time, you use the same index funds and the same tools as a person with 1,000. The only difference is scale. Scale turns small percentage wins into real progress. Identity rewiring. Who are you now? By saving $20,000, you have done something more than just fill an account. You have rewired your neural connections. You have proven to yourself that you can control your impulses. To collect such an amount from scratch, you need iron discipline. You had to monitor cash flows. You had to say no to momentary wants for the sake of a big goal. You had to ignore shiny storefronts and marketing traps. You have become a person who knows how to delay gratification. This is not just a financial skill, it's a superpower applicable in any area of life. Now, buying an expensive coffee doesn't cause you mental anguish because you know your priorities. You have already proven that you are capable of great achievements, and small things no longer drain your energy, from threats to opportunities. When you live from paycheck to paycheck, any surprise is a disaster. A car breakdown, a broken phone, or a rent increase pulls the ground from under your feet. But with $20,000 in the bank, these events turn into minor inconveniences. Car needs repairs? Annoying, but not critical. Need a new laptop? Great. I'll buy a more powerful model to work more efficiently. Rent went up? Perhaps it's time to look for a better option or negotiate a raise. But the coolest thing, you start seeing opportunities that you simply ignored before. Your acquaintance is launching an interesting project and looking for a partner. Before, you would have just sighed. Now you can consider it as an investment. A unique offer for real estate or training has appeared. Now you have the resources to walk through that door. Money goes to money not because of mysticism, but because the presence of capital gives you the right to choose, and choice is the most valuable asset in the world. Shifting focus. Big levers instead of small fries. When you have a solid foundation, an amazing thing happens. You stop obsessing over saving cents. You realize that the difference between brand name cereal and regular cereal is just noise. Instead of spending mental energy deciding whether to buy organic bananas, you start optimizing the large nodes. Where do I live and how much does it cost? What do I drive and how does it affect my capital? How can I increase my main income by 50%? Is my investment allocation correct? These decisions can change your net worth by tens of thousands of dollars, while saving on coffee will only give you crumbs. This freedom from the micromanagement of daily life incredibly frees up the brain for strategic thinking. Career on your terms. $20,000 changes not only your wallet, but also your relationship with your employer. Without savings, you are a hostage. You tolerate bad treatment, boring tasks, and a lack of growth because you are afraid of losing your source of survival. But $20,000, these are your freedom funds. It's the ability to leave at any moment and calmly look for the ideal place for several months. This doesn't mean you should slam the door for no reason. It means you are negotiating from a position of strength. You are calmer about asking for a raise. You are bolder about proposing ideas. You are not afraid to take responsibility. And do you know what's most ironic? When you stop trembling for your place, they start to value you many times more. Your confidence is sensed by others. You are given better projects and more bonuses. This creates a positive feedback loop. Confidence brings money, and money brings even more confidence. The reward trap. Here, I must warn you. I have seen this hundreds of times. A person reaches $20,000, feels this incredible surge of strength, and immediately spends it all on a new car or a luxury vacation. I earned it, they tell themselves. Don't do it. This $20,000 is not a bonus for good behavior. It is the foundation of your future. It is the seed from which the tree of your prosperity will grow. If you eat the seed now, there will never be a tree. Think about this. The average American spends more on cars in their lifetime than is needed for full financial independence. Between payments, insurance, and maintenance, people give away $600, $800 a month. Over 40 years. This turns into hundreds of thousands of dollars that simply evaporated. When you have $20,000, you look at a new car differently. You don't think, what is the monthly payment here? You think, these $30,000 in 20 years would have turned into $200,000 in my portfolio. Is the smell of new leather in the cabin worth such a loss? Conclusion: your future starts today. $20,000 won't make you a rich man tomorrow morning, but it will make you a different person, a person who manages their life rather than drifting with the flow. It is a transition from survival mode to creation mode. It is the first step toward making your money work harder for you than you work for it. Start laying this foundation today. Set aside the first dollar, look for ways to earn more, invest in your knowledge. Your future self in a couple of years will say a huge thank you for not giving up halfway to this magical mark. What amount do you think would give you a sense of complete control over the situation? Share your opinion in the comments. I'm very interested in discussing this with you. Why am I here with you? My name is Sergey, but my friends and family have long called me simply Sam. And I created this project not because I was born with a silver spoon in my mouth or knew all the secrets of Wall Street. Quite the opposite. I created the Sem Invests channel because I once got lost in endless charts and jargon used by experts in ties to intimidate us. I realized that the psychology of finance is not about complex formulas, but about our habits, fears, and those same invisible barriers in our heads. My goal and my path is to grow and develop in the field of finance together with you. I believe that the path to financial independence should be clear and even exciting. That is why here, with the help of simple and clear animations, I translate the complex world of money into human language. No pathos, no boring lectures, only what really works and changes your mindset. Become part of our community. If you feel you are ready to stop just watching others build capital and want to start this movement yourself, you are in the right place. We are here to learn together how to manage our lives rather than letting money manage us. Subscribe to the Sem Invests channel. Let's break stereotypes about wealth and move toward your first or next important milestone together. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next breakdowns, where we will shelf by shelf explain how to come to the life of your dreams step by step. Your financial future starts with one right decision, and perhaps subscribing to this channel is exactly the decision you will make today. This was Sam. See you in the next episode.